Well, hi, everybody. It's John Elzinga, and welcome back to It's a Great Day to Serve the Lord. And today, I want to start with Acts chapter 17, verses 22 to 28. I want to talk about the connection between your faith and life, the connection between our faith and our everyday life. So I'm going to start with Acts 17, 22 to 28, and it goes like this. So Paul is talking at what's called the Areopagus, which is a place of discussion, was a place of philosophy, a place of maybe debate in the Grecian world. Paul stood up in the meeting at the Areopagus and said, "Men of Athens, I see in every way that you are very religious. For as I walk around and look carefully at your objects of worship, I even found an altar with this inscription, to an unknown God. Now what you worship as something unknown, I'm going to proclaim to you." And he's talking about Jesus Christ. "The God who made the world and everything in it is the Lord of heaven and earth, and does not live in temples built by hands. And he is not served by human hands as if he needed anything, because he himself gives all men life and breath and everything else. From one man he made every nation of men, that they should inhabit the whole earth," men and women, people, "that they should inhabit the whole earth, and determined the times set for them and the exact places where they should live. God did this so that people would seek him and perhaps reach out to him and find him, though he is not far from each of us. For in him we live and move and have our being." Think about that. In him we live and move and have our being. Folks, wherever you go, whatever you do, you take your faith with you. You take it with work. You take it with you to work as much as to church. Or let me say it another way. God is with us as we live and move and have our being in everyday life. Your faith in God is with you as you live and move and have your being in everyday life. I call it living a congruent life. A congruent life, or you could call it living a Lego life. Now, the Oxford Dictionary defines congruent as in agreement or harmony. The things are in agreement, they connect together, they agree together. The things we live by agree together. A discussion is congruent when it is in harmony with itself, when it doesn't debate itself, when it doesn't argue with itself, when it's consistent, when it makes sense. Or if it's talking about architectural figures, it's identical in form, coinciding exactly when it is superimposed, when it is placed on top of each other, just like Legos do. They coincide in form, right? And when they are superimposed, they lay on top of, or like a template, an architectural template, it lays on top of each other. It fits perfectly. That's what Legos do. They fit perfectly. Well, you could say these two Legos is our faith and our life connected together. They connect together perfectly. They fit perfectly. They're designed to fit together. It makes sense when they're together. It doesn't make sense when they're apart. You wouldn't put something round on top of this. It doesn't superimpose correctly. It has to fit one on top of the other. Isn't that great? Some people think, regarding your faith, that you can box it in, that it's personal, that it has nothing to do with your everyday life, especially work. And by the way, that's a belief in and of itself. That's a belief system, by the way. We take life wherever we go because it's a fundamental part of who we are, of who you are. And that includes eating and sleeping as you live and move and have your being. It includes going to church and going to work. It includes praying and playing sports. It includes studying the Bible or studying biology. It includes engaging in dialogue or debate. It includes evangelism and education. It includes doing as well as being. Our faith in our everyday life fits together because it does at least four things. It sustains us, it guides us, it empowers us, and it energizes us. Think of it. Our faith sustains us in our everyday life. Psalm 3 verse 5 says, I lay down and sleep, I wake again, because the Lord sustains me. Our faith guides us. Psalm 23 verse 3 says, He guides me along the right paths for His name's sake. Our faith empowers us. In Genesis 1:28, God blessed them, man and woman, and He said to them, be fertile and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it. The old word was have dominion over the earth. Let me paraphrase this. By God, you are assigned by Him, God says by me, to develop the earth, to take care of it, to work in it. This is your assignment. If you believe in God, God says, if you believe in me, I have assigned you to have dominion, to have a sense of sovereignty, to have a sense of stewardship over all the world, over all the earth, and in everything you do. And our faith energizes us. Maybe you know the story. There are two men walking on their way to Emmaus after Jesus had died and rose again. And Jesus suddenly appears to them. They don't know it was Jesus at the beginning. And as they walk and they talk about this resurrected Jesus Christ. And Jesus starts talking about how that fulfilled the Old Testament scriptures. All of the old scriptures were fulfilled in that one act, in that one person. And then they suddenly realized it was Jesus all along. And they're talking after he left to each other, and they said, didn't our hearts burn within us as he talked with us on the road and explained the scriptures to us? Folks, faith in God through Jesus Christ is not something we leave at home or at church. It's something that burns within us. It ignites our passions and our desires, not only to take God wherever we go with us, but to glorify Him in all that we do. Folks, my challenge to you is to live a congruent life, to live a connected life, a life connected between your faith and your life. Live that way. Live that way. And a life where your faith is lived out for everything that you do. You take your faith with you. Because in Him, in God, you are sustained, you are guided, you are empowered, and you are energized every day and in every way. God bless you, and remember, it's a great day to serve the Lord.